So my aunt told me this story like a while back, and I had to sleep with the lights on for a little bit.
The same smile, the same eye. The day after the funeral, around the same time, the father heard the front door open.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
Look at you.
Do something with it.
It's just money coming to me easily. Money coming in and needing me. Money coming in repeatedly. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me frequently. Money coming in to be with me. Money coming in secretly. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me always. Money coming in all day. Money coming in all paid. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me frequently. Money coming in to be with me. Money coming in secretly. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me easily. Money coming in and needing me. Money coming in repeatedly. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just.
Hey y'all, welcome back to All Things Jenny. I'm Jenny and welcome back to another episode of Spooky Story Time. Now these stories are straight from Africa and they get scarier by the minute, and I hope you're ready. These stories give me chills, literally every one of them.
So my aunt told me this story like a while back, and I had to sleep with the lights on for a little bit. It starts with a woman who lost her husband, and she did not take it very well. So we're going to call the lady who lost her husband, her name is going to be Miriam. We're going to name the husband Ibrahim, because my aunt didn't give me any names. You know, she just said the lady, whatever. So I'm going to give names. So Miriam and Ibrahim, they were always like in love. They were just a perfect couple. Like everybody kind of wanted to be like them. Like everybody looked at their relationship as goals. So Ibrahim and Miriam, they're like growing old together. And one day Ibrahim goes out and he meets somebody named Fatima. She was like a younger girl, body tea. He was like interested, you know. So now Ibrahim is just looking for excuses to go out the house just to see the girl. And eventually he asks the girl to be his wife. So eventually Ibrahim lets Miriam know who is his original wife. He tells her, I'm going to be marrying Fatima. You know, he's going to have another wife basically. Miriam didn't mind that, you know, he was getting married because she was getting older and it's not uncommon for men to have two wives. So a few weeks goes by after the wedding and Miriam notices a change in her husband. He's barely talking to her. He doesn't even want to eat her food. Barely wants to look at her. They just don't have that same relationship anymore. And all of his energy is just invested into Fatima, which is his new wife. So Miriam got so tired of this that she ended up going to see a lady that does black magic. She tells the black magic lady that she wants to break the bond between her husband and Fatima. The black magic lady is telling her, are you sure you want to do this because it comes with a price? And she's like, yes, this is what I want to do. The black magic lady told her that the price that it comes with is that if the spell does not follow through how it's supposed to, then it will basically end Miriam. So a few days goes by and Ibrahim's other wife, Fatima, starts going through some things. She's waking up with scratches on her back. Her skin is looking pale. She's having like horrible nightmares. So days are going by and Fatima's just getting worse. And the worse that she's getting, the more in love Ibrahim is to her. Like, he's just there for her. He wants to help her. He's like protecting her. So of course, this is making Miriam mad. So the more jealous and angry Miriam is, the worse the attacks on Fatima are. And now Fatima's back is just getting severe. Now she's screaming while she's sleeping. Now everyone thinks she's like going crazy, but she keeps saying someone is like after her, someone's following her. And on this specific night, Fatima and Ibrahim are sleeping. And in the middle of the night, Fatima wakes up like she usually is doing now because, you know, she's going crazy. She wakes up and she's just not herself. Ibrahim is talking to her. She's speaking in a whole completely different voice. Like, she sounds like something's inside of her. So while Ibrahim is trying to calm Fatima down, he sees a dark shadow like in a corner, and it's basically a shadow of his wife Miriam, but it's not her. So he hurries up and runs to where Miriam's room is, and he sees her there just sleeping, which he's confused about. So now he's like, okay, I see that you're the one doing this black magic on my wife. So as soon as Miriam wakes up, he literally kicks her out the house. He says, I don't want nothing to do with you. Go back home to your family. So she left. So a lot of time goes by and Ibrahim is just trying to help his wife Fatima get better, but she's just getting worse. He tried to go to the doctors. They couldn't help her. So he ended up going to a spiritual healer. So the healer tells Ibrahim that Fatima is being visited by someone who has passed on but still hasn't left. So Ibrahim then travels to go confront Miriam. So it took Ibrahim a while to get to where Miriam was at because they lived far from each other at this point. And when he finally arrived, he found out that she had just passed a few days ago. And that night when he went back home, he couldn't go to sleep because, he lost his ex-wife. And he woke up again to Fatima screaming. And this time he sees a clear figure of Miriam just staring at him. So a couple days goes by, but every day that he tries to go to sleep, he's seeing Miriam every night. So of course this is stressing him out, so he goes back to the healer again. The healer tells him that Miriam did not go away peacefully and she has a lot of resentment, and this is basically why Ibrahim and his wife Fatima are suffering. They ended up performing a cleansing which stopped him from seeing the figures. As the years goes by, Fatima is no longer talking. She's not communicating with people. She's just mentally not the same person. So Ibrahim ends up becoming depressed because, his wife is mentally unstable now. And that's the rest of the story. So men, don't get two wives. Stick to one wife.
This is really a story of how truly wicked people can be. The story is called They Don't Feed Me There, a South African story told by my grandma. I am back with another spooky story. We're gonna call the person who submitted this story Zinle. And if I butchered that, I'm sure you guys are gonna tell me. So this is a story that Zinle's grandmother told her. A true South African tale passed down through generations. It was once a man who lived with his 8-year-old son. His wife had passed away, and after some time he remarried. The new wife already had 2 daughters, both the same age as the boy. At first, everything seemed fine. The 3 children lived together as siblings until one evening, the children went out to watch a rugby match. On the way there, they got into a fight. Just your typical siblings fight. The 2 girls ran home crying and told their mother what happened. The mom held the 2 girls close and said, "Don't worry, girls. I'll deal with him." Next morning, the children went to school like usual. But after school, something strange and tragic happened. As the boy walked home with his friends, he suddenly fell into a muddy puddle and drowned. A muddy puddle. How does an 8-year-old drown in something so shallow? His friends panicked. They searched the puddle for him over and over and could not find him. They ran to a nearby house for help, and when they returned, the boy was found floating on top of the puddle. His body was still, his skin was cold, one eye was open, and he was smiling. When the father arrived along with the paramedics, the boy was confirmed unalive. Cause of death, drowning. His lungs were full of water. Next day, the father went to the mortuary to bathe his son's body. And while washing him, the boy smiled, then slowly opened one eye. The father froze, but forced himself to keep going. He thought maybe his grief was playing tricks on him. But at the funeral, it happened again. the same smile, the same eye. The day after the funeral, around the same time, the father heard the front door open, and confused by this, he got up to go see. And there was his son, sitting and eating. The boy looked up and said, "Dad, they don't feed me there." And just like that, he vanished. This happened again and again and again and again. Always the same time, always the same words. They don't feed me there. The father began to expect it at this point, but eventually he grew tired and confused. One night he looked at his son and said, "I don't know if you're dead or alive, but I'm going to unalive you myself if you don't leave me in peace." He looked into the boy's eyes, but he couldn't do it. The boy left and did not come back for weeks. Then one day the father was watching TV when he saw a chicken enter the house, and he shouted, "Get that chicken out the house." The next morning he passed an old woman on the road. She looked at him with sad eyes and said, "That chicken you chased out last night, that was your son. He escaped the world of witchcraft and came to find you, but you turned him away." The father was stunned, broken. He realized the truth. He ran home immediately and chased away his wife and her 2 daughters. Then, with a heavy heart, he performed a cleansing ceremony to let his son's spirit finally rest. What did I tell y'all? South Africa don't come to play. If you have a spooky story that you want me to tell, please feel free to submit them to me, either via my TikTok DMs or my Instagram DMs. Like, I'm literally accepting all the spooky stories from everywhere. The South Africans just seem to submit more. That's why I tell a lot of South African stories. So when you're submitting a story, please go ahead and let me know where you're from. Anyway, like I say in every single video, I love you, my abducted humans. Please go ahead and follow me on Instagram. It's Rebecca_Journey. I just started posting new content on there, so please follow me on Instagram. I'm trying to get to 10K, and I have 200,000 of y'all on here, so that's just embarrassing. So please, just go follow me on Instagram, please. Just so that I know that it's real. Duh. And while you're at it, please be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel for better, longer, and spookier stories. Like I say at the end of every single video, and I mean it every single time, I love you, my abducted humans, from your favorite Haitian homegirl.
Let me tell you guys a spooky story my aunt told me about her village in Guinea, located in West Africa. This story is about a young woman who wasn't what she seemed to be on the outside. My aunt said this lady was so beautiful and she always wore nice clothes. She was in her early 20s. She was just so quiet, respectful, like all the men wanted her, but she just wasn't married or anything, which was weird around that time because in your 20s, in Guinea around that time, everybody was married, but she wasn't. This lady wasn't really close to any of the other like 20-year-olds in the area or anything like that. So she wouldn't really go out, but she would only come out whenever someone just had a baby. Another thing is that she lived by herself, which was weird around that time. And she would say like her parents lived in another village or whatever, and that this was her dad's house, and she's just like taking care of things until they come back here. But like I said, she only came out when someone in the village had a new baby, and she would just come to greet the baby, say hi, bring some gifts, yada yada. But here's the thing, every time she visited a baby, the baby would get sick the next day, literally. My aunt said this happened to like her neighbor's son, and then it was another baby located in the village, and then people in the town started whispering because it was like 3 kids now. Like, that's weird. So my aunt's family didn't really believe it. They just don't believe in like stuff like that, but my aunt believed it, and she was like terrified of the lady. But before, she was just like, oh, this lady's so beautiful, da da da. But now she was like scared because everyone in the village is just talking. So in the middle of this, my aunt's baby brother was like finally born, and the lady came to visit like she always does, and she was at the door. She was like, I came to like bless the baby, bring gifts, you know, what she's used to doing. And my aunt begged her parents like, don't let her in, don't let her in, y'all are hearing all this stuff. And her parents were just like, no, like, it's okay, we don't believe in that, like, that's not true. So they let the lady in, and literally that night, Her little brother couldn't stop crying. He was hot. He wouldn't eat. Like, he was just, like, sick. So 2 days goes by, and the baby is still, like, sick, not eating, crying uncontrollably. Like, he's never acted like this before. So my aunt's parents called an elder from, like, another village. And when he came to see the baby, like, prayed over the baby, and he told them what happened to the baby. So in the morning, when the baby felt better and everything, the elder told the family it was a witch that was coming after the baby, and she came after the baby because she was hungry. A witch was trying to, like, take your baby, but not physically, but they do it, like, in another way, which is why the baby gets sick and all of this. The elder told my aunt's family that the person who did this is a witch, and that she looks young on the outside, but she has a very old spirit. So then my aunt's family finally clocks it. It was the girl that they let in. Duh. My aunt was, like, so pissed that this happened to her baby brother. So she called up her friends, and they were, like, 12, like, 13 at the time. And they made a plan to, like, go to the witch's house or whatever that day. So when they went there, it was nobody there. The place was empty, and they never seen that girl in the village again. And my aunt always says, if someone is, like, super curious about your baby, always trust your gut, because not everyone means well. If you want more stories, let me know. I have so many stories from my family, and I feel like we're all, like, intuitive. We, like, see stuff. It's crazy. So let me know if y'all want some stories.
Guys, I don't even know which story was the saddest ones. Whether or not it was the little boy, oh my God, turned him into a whole chicken. And I believe it too, okay? I believe it too. Coming from Haiti and hearing stories and actually knowing people that I knew that basically voodoo was done on them, where they basically were turned into something, and or they're basically were zombified. I can honestly believe this. I remember one time, so this is a story that I've actually told only my siblings, and my siblings actually know the tree where that thing was, so I'm gonna tell it to you guys. Hopefully I remember all the details, but I remember in Haiti, right, and we have this place, it's called Rivière. So it's like, if I were to translate it, it's literally called under the sea, but it's like you live in a village and then you cross this big river to go to the other side, but it's mainly like the countryside, and my grandma lived in the countryside, right? And while we're walking, so you have to cross this big river, and then you have to, like, walk a bunch of land and then cross this other river, and then you have to, get to this main road where you will get, like, mountains and all that stuff. But before we get to the main road, there's this little area there where there's always this house that would stop by sometime and meet our friends there, and sometimes our friends just meet us at my grandma's house. But anyways, so while I'm walking, there's a little walkway, and you have, like, trees, not necessarily trees, but they have vines and stuff on both sides, but it's like a dirt road, and it just become a road because people walk there so much, because it's like a garden. It's like a jardin. It's a place where there's, like, figs and a bunch of fruit and everything. But when you walk there, eventually it starts making this path, but it's all like dirt and stuff, right, and mud. Whenever it rains, it gets all muddy and stuff. But around there's this big old tree, and I remember I was walking by myself this one day because my sister and my cousin were over on the other side by the river washing clothes. So in Haiti, where we lived, or where my grandma lived, because we lived in the village in the city, but we'll visit my grandma, which lived on Rivière. So then whenever we go to see grandma, we would bring our clothes. We'll basically make a big pile of clothes. We'll tie it up in a sheet. I'm trying to give you guys a picture of how things are done in Haiti if you don't have, like, washers and dryers and all that stuff, right? So we'll put all the dirty clothes in this big sheet, and we'll tie it up, and we'll carry it on our head, and then we have to cross this big river. And I'm talking about, it's a really big river, and sometimes the river will go up, where the water level will go up, and you actually have to cross it, and it's even, like, big currents and everything. But anyway, so this one day my sister and my cousin were washing clothes, and I went to go walk to see my friend because the clothes was being dry, and the way we dry our clothes is we put the clothes on the rocks by the river, and the rocks get so hot, and of course the sun dries up the clothes. And sometimes when we're done washing clothes, people are selling food by the river and stuff. You can stop, chit chat with your friends, buy food, whatever. So my sister and my cousin were waiting for the clothes to be dry. They're swimming, they're playing, whatever they were doing. So I decided to go walk to go see my friend. And as I'm walking, this big old tree, it's like a real established tree, big old tree, and that tree's been there for a really long time. And while I'm walking, all I saw was a man that was tied to the tree, and he didn't look dead. He literally was alive because his eyes were moving, but he was very much zombified. And you can tell because I don't even know. Because when you turn into a zombie, you're not necessarily dead or alive. You're like in limbo. Right? You're in limbo. But for someone who is alive, they will feel the change in the energy. So while I'm walking, all I knew is my head started getting lighter, and all of a sudden, it started getting really, really cold, right? So I'm looking around just to see, because this is not something that's new. We've heard stuff and we've seen things. I've actually walked by people that have been tied to like a tree before, and a lot of time they're either being there just because someone caught them, like did voodoo on them to basically keep them there, and they become like their servant, not necessarily a zombie yet, but they become that person's servant. Like they cannot leave, like they're basically like stuck there, right? But as I'm walking, I saw the man, and the man literally looks like he is blended with the tree, but you can see his eyes because his eyes are moving, but it's like he's blended to the tree, but I could see him. And as I'm walking, I literally saw the man, and my body started getting cold, and my head started getting lighter and lighter, and I just kept walking. All I kept thinking is, if I make it past this tree, obviously I'm scared because I'm like, okay, I see the zombie there. I don't know why I feel like I saw something standing over there. But I saw the man who basically, in my opinion, from what I have been told as a child, what a zombie is supposed to be and how you're supposed to feel when you're around someone that is, because it's so popular, or it's so like it happens so often that they prepare you, like they let you know, like if you come across a zombie, this is how you will feel, this is what you will see, right? So when I saw the guy, or it was a guy, when I saw him, all I could think about was, I just need to get past this tree. I'm not thinking about how I'm going to get back to my sister. I'm like, I need to get past this tree because like I'm already there now, and I'm feeling a little weak, like lightheaded, and plus I'm a little cold, so I know something is wrong. And in that area also, you have to be careful, especially walking by yourself, because people can actually snatch you up, right? So I'm walking, and as a kid, like, you're so used to the area, you just know that people are not going to do anything. Because remember I talk about this sometimes, like where people in Haiti, their last name or the name of the family holds so much power that people just won't do anything to you because they know you're the family of this person, that person, right? So I'm walking, I'm just thinking of, okay, I need to get away, I need to get to her house, or at least go back to my sister. But I'm not thinking about going back to them, I'm thinking about going to my friends. I'm like, I just need to pass this house or this tree with this guy because he's looking at me. As I'm walking, his eyes is literally following me walking, and I know he was dead or at least zombified because of how I felt. So when I got to my friend, I told my friend, and her mom ended up walking back. And when we're walking back, guys, I swear to God, the man was gone. The man that was on the tree was still there, but the man was gone. So when I tell you guys, these stories actually make sense to me because I have experience, and also I have heard stories. And growing up in the island, if you're from like Jamaica, if you're from Trinidad and all of that, I'm not sure how much voodoo is popular over there in those other islands, but I do know in Africa and Jamaica and all that, so it's very prevalent. So if you guys have any stories about that, let me know. But when I heard the story about the little boy turning into a whole chicken, I knew that for a fact that it could very much be true. It's very possible that that could happen because I have heard those stories before, and plenty of time. And it's this literally like a neighbor who had a child that somebody did something like that too. So it's not like stories from books. I've heard those stories from very close to home. And also the story about the lady who basically lost her husband, and then that happened. I actually mentioned that to you guys sometime too, is that, whenever you're doing stuff or like spiritual things, if you're not specific about what it is that you want to do, it can ricochet. So if it doesn't penetrate, it can ricochet. So if you try to do something to someone and that person's ancestors or the spirit guide that they work with is more powerful and they block whatever it is that you're sending, it can go back to you times 13. And that is the reason why whenever you're doing something, just be careful, because you don't want to just mess with anyone's free will, because you don't know who they have behind them that's supporting them. Like, for example, if someone is working with La Santísima Muerte, right, Santa Muerte, and you're trying to do some things to basically harm that person, it can go back to you and it can cause death, like destruction in your life, because La Santísima Muerte do not come to play, and she does not play about her devotees, you know. So you just never know. You don't want to just start throwing things at people, doing this and doing that, because you just never know who and what is protecting them, who is their angels. So that lady basically, who actually unalive her own self, because she's the reason that happened to her. But also it says that she did not die in peace, so that is the reason why she was coming back to destruct their life, basically. So like, even when my godmom had passed, she passed because somebody had put something where she does her store and business and everything, and I told that story before. But when she had passed, she kept coming back to see me. Like, she literally would try to take me with her. Like, I told this story also. She would try to take me with her, and I would wake up and I would cry, and I would tell people that my godmom is outside calling for me, and I would sleepwalk to the door. And eventually, they ended up taking me, like, it took me to see someone to make sure, you know, they took that away, because in Creole it's called chagrin when somebody who was close to somebody else passed away. Or if you were close to someone who passed away, you become chagrin, and sometimes that person's energy can try to come and get you because they felt that you're just not at peace, or they're not at peace because they realized that they're gone and they left you behind, so they try to get you. And that's what was happening to me. From what they were saying, they had to do some medicine to basically fix me up as a child, so that thing could basically leave me alone. Well, her spirit can leave me alone. So yeah, anyways, those things are very, very interesting. I love talking about these things, and also I love, you know, telling you guys my experience based on when I lived in Haiti and all of that as a child, because I've actually lived through these things. So I'll talk to y'all later. Bye. Like I said, we're going to touch up some stuff on this book. So in this book is called Spell of Abundance, Love, Wealth, and Protection. So in this book, on the first page, actually, I have a glamour affirmation that you will basically say, you stand in front of the mirror and you stare at yourself and you admire yourself, and you will say to yourself how beautiful you are. You'll basically seal this your beauty, like your glam, after you've done your makeup, or even stand in front of the mirror naked with nothing on, so you can really reaffirm yourself of your beauty, of your confidence, and all that. This book is mainly for like self-confidence and self-elevation, you know, calling the goddess in you, calling the divinity in you, you know, calling the beauty in you. And also work with the moon, because the moon represents the woman, the mother, womb, water, all of this. So yeah, I have all the steps in here of all the spells that you need to do. It even has one to get rid of unwanted guests. It's pretty funny. To get rid of unwanted guests. And this book right here, right? So I'm gonna run down real quick of all the materials that you're going to need. You will need a brand new broom. It has to be brand new. And you'll need a piece of parchment paper, a black pen, a black trash bag, because we're going to get rid of this sucker, right? And of course your intentions. And also I have spells on here that you can say. I have daily affirmations. And also I have spells on here that you can do every single day to work with the energy of the planets of the day, and also the archangels that work with the day. So anyways, there's so many spells. There's a 7-day manifestation spell with archangels. And let's see. A 30-day money spell with bay leaves and the Fihu sign, which is a money sign. It's like an F with the extra part. Anyways, the symbol's there, and I even show you like what you need to do, what the sigil look like, all that. And the keys to enhance your spell. So there are different things on here on how to enhance your spell and basically grow your finance, grow your love, self-love, self-admiration, chance to say to yourself to give you that extra energy to go about your day. And also tips to enhance your spell. Oh, I already said this. And morning coffee abundance prosperity spell. You guys remember I just shared a video about morning coffee and how important it is when it comes to hoodoo, and how you can basically use your first cup of coffee in the morning to manifest a better life or a better day, or to bring forth money to you. So don't let, you know, you're already doing these things anyway, so you might as well just incorporate something a little bit extra. to basically boost your thing. And here's a to influence your boss spell. So this one, I'm sure people who are actually working are going to love this. It's to influence your boss and attract favors towards you at work. Because look, in this economy, we're all working and we need some boost at work, and we also sometimes need to be tied to our job, so therefore you don't get fired. You know what I mean? So there's some stuff that you could do to basically tie yourself to your job, and or tie the job to you. And once you're done and you're all tired of that job, you can get rid of it. It's not something that's completely permanent, but use magic, guys. It's here for you to use. You have the herbs in your closet, you have the herbs in your pantry, you have the candles that you could just simply buy some candles super cheap. Use magic to elevate your life. Use magic to make yourself better. Let me tell you, Jesus was out here using magic, okay? Walking on water and stuff and turning water into wine. Sounds like magic to me. But anyways, guys, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.